What has happened in the last 7 years?
Let's see, I was in the Plaza Cinema as a volunteer, and I'm now the deputy manager. So a lot's happened. I done my counselling and I passed 2 years counselling. I keep up with me English, and I passed level 1 English, and I'm doing an open university course on youth work, but I never passed. But that's okay, because I've learnt loads and I've got a lovely computer with everything on it. Talks to me, you know, I can put my dictaphone into it and it writes it all up, and it's really brilliant. So that's what's happened, and I'm a grandmother, so that's good.
I'm working at the moment. I've got a job in a pub, which I work Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I work in a school as a school cleaner, and I've been there 3.5 years, and I like gardening, and I'm currently doing a course in that to get my diploma.
Well, since we last met, I've been to university. I did a history degree at Lancaster, which I got a 2-1, which was absolutely made up with. I've started my own business, and this year we're hoping to go to Chelsea Flower Show. It's a horticultural flower business I've started.
Yeah, I changed jobs. I realised that because I'm dyscalculia, the figures just aren't for me, and what was stressing me out was checking them all the time, because I worked in finance and it was just like I just had to check my work loads of different times just to make sure it was right, and it was stressing me out. It was giving me psoriasis, and then when I found out that I had dyscalculia, I thought figures just aren't for me. So just so happened an opportunity came along in the organisation based next door for a grant officer, and I went for that. No finance involved, reading accounts but no actual working out of finance, and it's a job I've been in ever since. I've been there, this will be my 8th year, and I love it, and I'm now the director of grants, so it's been a real good change for the better.
I've become the dyslexia assessment manager as part of my remit with adult dyslexia access, which involves assessing people for dyslexia either in the office or wherever, anywhere in the country I can travel.
God, yeah, 7 years ago. Wow. Okay. I've got older, and I've been through probably about 4 different job changes. And probably the most stressful time around those job changes was being interviewed, and obviously dyslexia isn't a friend of psychometric tests. I think before, when I was interviewed 7 years ago, I don't think I'd have had the courage to be able to argue with personnel to say to them, this isn't right for me. I need another method to be able to look at how you assess me for work. I don't particularly want somebody to sit behind a machine, answer questions correctly to say that you're competent. I want to be able to tell you or show you how I can do it. It caused a great deal of stress. However, perseverance, knowledge of the dyslexia came through, and that was one of the things that I was able to find a method around it, and we made a negotiation to amend the interview. Fortunately, after several attempts, I was successful and have since been promoted. So that actually put a different focus on my job role, because I was now becoming more senior, expected to deliver more, but it didn't change the fact that I still couldn't look at data, I still couldn't sit behind a computer and work out figures, I still couldn't sit in a meeting and listen to a presentation and then come out and go, oh, that was great, that I understood every word he said. But it enabled me to say to people before I went into the meeting, please do your handouts on different coloured paper for me. Please give me something to read before we go in, give me a brief description. And it gave me the opportunity whilst I was in the meeting to say, can you stop, because I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. I would never have done that before. I'm now very comfortable with the dyslexia, sing hallelujah about it to everybody I know, recognise when I think other people do have it, and convince them that it'll probably be the best thing that they've done if they can go and get an assessment.
I started at the ADA and I did some open university work with them there from there we transferred my modules or creditations onto university at Lancashire. From Lancashire, at the same time I did some counselling qualifications and some work experience, as well as finishing off my degree, and I ended up with a 2-1 in care, community and citizenship. How long have you got? And then what did I do? I did some voluntary work within Shorestart children's centres, and that sort of led to get where I ended up getting a job as an outreach support worker, and then went for a promotion a year later for an outreach worker.